What's going on, you guys? So check it right. With rappers still trying to make their way into 2025, one particular artist is trying to keep active by jumping on multiple features and executing them at the same time. A few weeks back, we had A-Reece feature on K Keith's album Bite the Bullet, where he killed his verse and dilemma, but this time around, we have the Ghanaian rapper Manifest, who just dropped his album New Road and Guava Trees, where Reece was featured on the record titled Free the Youth Them. So I guess with this feature, he was returning the favor to M. Since Manifest was previously featured twice on P2 with West African Time and Champion. So this makes it a three-peat when it comes to their collaborations. But with that said, let's break down his lyrics so we get a better understanding of what the boy was saying. So from the start, we can hear Reece say the following: I'm on some calculus, they study how I operate. I make the culture congregate. Your callousness, the reason why I dominate. So with these lines, right, Reece equates himself to the complex mathematical subject calculus, where he's something intricate and not immediately understood. And because he likens himself to the math subject, he also suggests that others are trying to study the way he moves in terms of his methods, his motivations, and success, implying a level of uniqueness. And Reece is one of those artists who doesn't conform to the usual industry standards, sort of making him an anomaly because of the level of success he's managed to receive, which is true. Because of the position he currently holds in the game, he's able to bring people together, mostly being his fans, where he has somewhat an influence over them. Now, in the last line, Reece states that he's killing shit in the game because his peers, or the industry as a whole, seem to be unconcerned or cold-hearted with how they operate, leaving a gap for him to dominate with his sheer talents and consistency. Now, during the verse, Reece also refers himself as the GOAT, the greatest of all time, because of his success and skill level. But on the other hand, he's labeled as the black sheep because of being viewed as an outcast or just misunderstood in the game. This duality reflects his pride in overcoming outsider status. And because he's the black sheep who was raised by wolves, it implies a tough survivalist mentality. Considering the situation he had with Ambitious, with him trying to reignite his career once again whilst getting blackballed in the industry, it kind of speaks to that. And he also emphasizes authenticity when he says don't fabricate, as well as shows restraints with don't overstate, valuing truth over exaggeration. Now, Reece continues the verse when he says, mindset of a winner, world on my shoulders, but my heart is growing colder than the snow in Nova Scotia. What else do you expect when all your colleagues turn to cobras? Once bitten, twice shy, third time is the coda. So with these lines, right, Reece makes it known that he's carrying a lot in terms of the responsibilities and heavy burdens from the people that surround him. And because of that, he has a victorious mentality which drives him. But despite that, he's still starting to feel an emotional detachment or resentment likened to the cold climate of Nova Scotia, which possibly stems from the betrayal or disillusionment he's received from the relationships he's had over the years throughout his career. The nigga compares his colleagues to cobras, which paints a picture of betrayal where the snakes symbolize deceit or danger. And with him posing the line as a rhetorical question, while it implies that the outcome was bound to happen given the circumstances. Reece has had so many fallouts with his former friends or crew members, almost too many to count, and whether he was at fault or not, well, we'll never know. But he does make it seem as if he was the one that was betrayed. And he emphasizes that when saying once bitten, twice shy, third time is the coda, which means he'll take his L the first time. The second time he's moving with caution after feeling betrayed. The third time is the coda implies that after repeated betrayals, he's reached an end point, or I guess some sense of closure from all the fallouts he's had. Now, despite facing those hardships, he still speaks on showing commitment to the journey until the end, showing perseverance despite challenges. For him, greatness was always the aim, so the recognition is expected and not surprising, which speaks to his confidence and intentionality. And I found that to be a callback to the line where he said, word, no need to curse to get my points across, where Reece values clarity and impact without relying on profanity, suggesting skill in communication. He continues also by saying the future is brighter when the youth decides to get involved, not in the art of war, up in arms, in the dark fighting for their lives and KPFs and Kalashnikovs, all because the government chose ambition over cause. Only God can be the overlord. Keep the faith, free the youth, advocate to educate, keep it true. Now, with these lines, right, Reece speaks to a change of hope and activism, where progress is dependent on the younger generation taking action. I mean, despite being upset or angry, violence isn't the solution. I mean, Reece suggests constructive resistance. Now, he also paints a clear picture of conflict, most likely referencing the Middle Eastern struggles because of the Kefievs, which are traditional headscarves, and Kalashnikovs, which are rifles, or the AK-47. Now, this line widens the lenses to global issues, highlighting war or oppression. I mean, Reece came with the United Nations raps. I mean, the UN should consider hiring this nigga as a mouthpiece. But the jokes aside, I do appreciate lines like these because, let's be honest, we don't really have enough artists on a mainstream level bringing light to these type of conversations, which I highly respect. So shout out to Reece for that. But anyways, he continues about criticizing governments about how they value power and greed instead of justice and morality, which leads to suffering. And because of that, we should rather place authority on God and not corrupt human systems, and maintain hope and liberate the next generation from oppression by promoting education and authenticity as tools for change. He concludes by stating that we shouldn't let others define our identity or destiny, as well as reject approval from deceitful or unworthy individuals, which in turn emphasizes self-worth, and that is something we all need to consider. Now, with all that said, right, it's safe to say that Reece killed his verse. I'm gonna pose a question to you guys, but is this a verse of the year contender? Because I definitely think so. I mean, the nigga touched on topics relating to personal resilience, social critique, empowerment and hope, as well as spirituality, which is definitely a far cry from topics related to friendships and betrayal. But hey, what do I know? But you guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Have you listened to the record yet? And if so, what did you think of Reece's verse? Are you feeling it or nah? Comment down below. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to hit that like button if you found the content dope, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's on to the next one. Peace.